Thank you. Yes. Hello, Plattsburgh. It is so good to be here. I was here, I was in and out of here 1,000 times when I was a pilot back in the late 80s. I flew not here because this was an air base back then, right? Which we loved. But I flew out of the old county airport, and my old boss is here. Russell Lawless is out in the crowd somewhere. Say hello to Russell. He's a great guy, local official. And I know he's shaking his head going, I can't believe I ever hired that guy. But listen, I am so pleased to be here with you today. I actually left my vacation. My family's over in Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, but it's that important to me to be here with you to say and ask you, have you had enough yet? Yeah. Do your job, Mel. Hold that sign. Have you had enough? That's why I ran for office a couple years ago. I simply had enough. Maybe I was just slightly ahead of the curve, but I was so disgusted, so fed up with Albany, so sick of people lying to you, not telling you the truth, budgets that weren't done on time, corruption, which we still see on a daily basis in Albany. I just had enough, and I simply knew that I could do a better job. And that would be my message to all of you out there. If you have any drive to get involved, run for office, whether it's local, town, state, federal. We need good people. All I do every day is try to speak the same language that you're talking about. And I know that in your gut, you know something's wrong with this country and this state. Am I right? Yeah. Enough is enough. We have a duty to the founding fathers to right this ship. There's so many people here. Let me hear it for the veterans real quick. I know we have some veterans out here. Let me hear it for the veterans and say thank you for what you did and what you continue to do to keep us safe. You know, you're not alone. That's the message that I have for all of you. They want you to believe that we're the minority, but I don't think so. I think that fire of freedom still burns bright inside every single American. It is in our DNA. That is why when the Unsafe Act was jammed down the throats of New Yorkers and jammed down my throat as a legislator, that is why over 50 counties stood up and opposed it. That's unprecedented. Well over 200 towns, sheriff's associations, local county sheriffs, they're doing their job, standing up and saying this is wrong. This will not stand. And I got a message of necessity for Andrew Cuomo, and it's coming in the November 2014 elections. We have been pushed to the wall, and it is no longer about Republican and Democrat. It can't be. I guarantee if I ask for a show of hands, there's Democrats out here, there's conservatives out here, there's Republicans, there's independents, there's people that aren't enrolled in any party but still vote. But what there isn't out here is progressives. When you hear the word progressive, hold your wallet and run. They do not stand for the same values you do. And you notice now they all call themselves progressives. No longer, oh, I'm a Democrat. No, progressives all the way now. That is not what built America. Good, sound, fiscal, conservative values is what we have to get back to. That's right. Now, here's the thing. I won't ask you if you're registered to vote, but you know if you are. You know if you voted. There are registration forms over there. If you are not registered, you have got to do your duty and get registered. There's no embarrassment, there's no shame in that. Just fix it. Fix the problem and make sure that you vote and make sure everybody in your family is voting. And I'm not telling you to register as a Republican. I'm not telling you to register as a Democrat. Just register and know who the heck you're voting for and whether they're going to honor the Constitution and your rights. That's right. And far too many do not. And this governor does not. I can guarantee you that. I'll give you a quick story. We were there. It was day one of the session. Day one. Now, where was the necessity that we had to get this done? As Carl said a minute ago, and wouldn't we be in better shape if he was the governor right now? Yeah. As Carl said, it was about ego. It was about bravado. It was about Andrew Cuomo trying to be a big shot and say, look at me, I'm going to do things first. Well, all he really accomplished was shooting himself in the foot and ending any chance he ever had to be president. Maybe that's the one good thing of the same fact, is that Andrew Cuomo will never be president. So we got this bill. The Senate got it. for all of 20 minutes. Now, have you laid eyes on this monstrosity? I think you've seen it, right? 50, 60 pages of nothing but legalese. Senate had it for 20 minutes and voted. That is shameful. I don't care what party it is, that's shameful. Is it not? They did not do their duty. There was zero debate on the floor of the Senate about this act. An absolute attack on your Second Amendment rights. They didn't even bother to talk about it. We got the bill. I laid eyes on it at 11 at night. I had been there all day. I went home. I read it. Couldn't sleep after seeing that thing, that's for sure. I read it till about 2:30 in the morning. I had to be back in the chamber at 7 or 8 in the morning the next day. We started a 5-hour debate. And I don't know if you've seen any of that debate, but there's plenty of it on YouTube. And you can see that there were those of us that were willing to stand up and do our job and take this bill apart. And everything that we brought up and everything we said is absolutely the truth. And that's why you see them backpedaling on some of this stuff now. But they can't backpedal enough to fix this nightmare, so we need to fix it at the ballot box, right? Right. So, let me tell you a secret. The media will tell you that Andrew Cuomo can't be beaten. I don't believe that. Anybody can be beaten. Anybody. You control everything. Here's the truth. Next year, gubernatorial year, voter turnout in New York's terrible. I hope it's really high next year, especially upstate. But here's the thing. You're going to have 5 to 5.2, maybe 5.5 million voters. There are 4 million gun owners in the state of New York. Do you think we can change the stars? Do you think we can change the direction of this state? If the gun owners show up, we win. So what they're trying to do is beat you down. Don't you feel like they're just constant? It's a constant attack. It's constantly, you feel like it never stops out of Albany. Scandal after scandal, corruption, greed. That's why it's important to send the right people to office and send some people out of office, right? Send them packing. So all I can say to you is this. I love the country. I love the state. I could have lived anywhere. I was an airline pilot up until 9/11 hit. I could have based myself anywhere in the country. But my wife was from here in Schaghticoke down in Rensselaer County. We live in the house she grew up in. She's the youngest of 6. 5 of the 6 live in the same town. Deep roots. You probably have the same story. That's upstate New York. Deep roots. Family. I refuse to lay down. I refuse to not stand up and fight. I owe that to my children. You owe it to your kids. We got to do this peacefully and at the ballot box, but we can win. Do not stop. Stay encouraged. Understand that we outnumber them if we vote. If you don't vote, they will win. And then it will become inevitable that this state continues to decline and that grandma and grandpa have to leave New York State because they can't afford it and there's no jobs. And our young people have to leave New York State because there's no opportunity and no jobs. And the progressives remain in Albany, destroying the state, absolutely tearing it down. Highest taxes, least free state in the nation. That's the truth.
That is the truth.
Oppressive laws, no opportunity. Least friendly state to do business in. That's the exact same position we were in the day Andrew Cuomo took office. What has he changed? Absolutely nothing.
It made it worse. Gun laws.
Yeah, gun laws.
He made it worse.
So stand strong. Do not give up. You gotta stay involved. The grassroots will take this back. And I want to read you this quote. And there are constitutions over there, and I would highly recommend everyone has one. I have one on my phone, but I got this hard copy today. Here's a quote from George Washington. The power under the Constitution will always be in the people. It is entrusted for certain defined purposes and for a certain limited period to representatives of their own choosing. And whenever it is executed contrary to their interest or not agreeable to their wishes, their servants can and undoubtedly will be recalled. Start recalling some people. God bless you. Thank you.
Steve McLaughlin.